Pike 3 Shit, the name of this song.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, Tucson, Arizona? This is the Call Me Crazy Show. Call Me Crazy Show, episode 250. Can you believe it? It's 250 episodes. Wouldn't have been possible without you, the viewers, and the television, and of course, public access in downtown Tucson. Okay, being that the episode of 250, we're going to be talking about something that's been on my mind for quite a while. It's the Charlie Sheen fiasco. I always wanted to know, I've been asking people, what do you think about the thing that's been going on with Charlie Sheen? He had the tour going, and he's done this live on the air drug test. And what I want to know is it a public meltdown, what he's doing, or is he a winner like he says? I can find it hysterical that he got fired from CBS, and people are like, oh, so poor Charlie and all that. It's not really poor Charlie, it's the poor people who make a living on that one of the greatest shows ever, 2.5 Men. And don't get me wrong, I like Charlie Sheen. I like some of his early movies, Platoon, Wall Street. You know, he has some. He does have some caliber work. But lately, I guess I saw an interview where he was on Access Hollywood not too long ago, and he looked bad. And I'm not saying I'm not no stud. I'm not saying that, but he looked awful. He had like bags under his eyes, and he had a stubble going. He hadn't shaved in a couple of days, and then also too, he had that telltale look of druggies and alcoholics. He had like a shiny sheen on him. Get it? Sheen, shiny sheen. Never mind. But anyways, he had his face was very shiny, slick with sweat, and he had a sheen on his face. And I was like, yeah, he's either detoxing or he's jonesing for the other hit. And you know what I hope? The best thing that Charlie can do is make Major League 3 and make what was the other one that he made? Hot Shots. He should make another sequel to Hot Shots. Why not? He doesn't do TV anymore, and he doesn't have anything else lined up, I think. Okay, I want to talk about gas prices. This morning when I was driving around town, I noticed one local establishment that sells gas, and they were selling it for $3.64. And I know, folks, it's a lot, because when I paid $3.64 a gallon, it hurts my pocket. Believe me, we spend a lot on the gas. All of us in the whole world who needs to drive around to get to work, to pay for the gas and to pay for all the essentials. But in addition to the rising cost of the gas being so expensive, now in turn, it's like a domino effect. Now the people who deliver the food to the supermarket, for example, fresh milk and fresh vegetables and fruit, they have to charge more in order for them to afford the higher gas prices. So they are raising their prices on their goods. And for example, this morning I read an article where Frito-Lay did an official announcement saying that they were going to be doing higher prices on their Pepsi-Cola products and Frito-Lay products. And that's a big deal, folks, because we all know, we're all guilty of it. Everybody in the country either eats Frito-Lay products or Pepsi products. And also, too, I read that Procter and Gamble are going to be raising their prices also on some of their goods because, in effect, of what the higher gas prices are doing to their business. So that means we have to pay a little higher, more for all these essentials like laundry soap and all that. So hopefully it won't get worse, but I got a gut feeling it's going to be pretty bad because it's not even May yet. It's April, I believe, April 29th today. Yes, it is. It's April 29th, and we're not even hit summer yet. And it's been lately, for the past couple of years, it's been a ritual for Tucson to see a very high surge on how much we pay for gas at the pump in the summer. I remember in 07 we were pushing $4.50. Ooh. But this year it looks like we might hit the $5 mark at some point during the summer. I would hate to see that. And there's another interesting tidbit that I want to talk about the gas prices. Back in 1986 here in Tucson, guess how much gasoline cost at the pump? Back in 1986, the average price for a gallon of gas was 89 cents. 89 cents, folks. Imagine that. Imagine that. My father remembered when it was 10 cents a gallon. Could you imagine? I would love to pay 10 cents a gallon for gas. You know, fill up the pump, I got $1. Okay. Also, too, I wanted to talk about. We all remember what happened in Tucson on January 8th, the shooting with Gabrielle Giffords and the other victims on January 8th. But anyways, the shooter, Jerry Lee Lautner, who I shouldn't even be saying his name out loud. Anyways, he had came back from Missouri back to Tucson after undergoing some mental health exams. And I didn't read too much about it, but all I got to say is yes, he did pull the trigger and kill them, but it's not only is he at fault, but I know he's a grown man, but he did live with his parents, and I feel his parents failed him. You know, I would hate to be the parents of that guy. You know, they get to assume, you know, no, my son can have mental health issues because that's my son. He can have it, but apparently he did. So enough about that. Alrighty. 2 weeks ago, I saw. Don't get me wrong. It's been 10 years since 9/11 had happened, and it's something that we have to remember by. We have to remember by what 9/11 means, that people died on 9/11, and we have to honor their memory. Okay, and here's my beef. It's been 10 years, and not a single shred of evidence that I never know of. Where the fuck is Osama bin Laden at? You know, and it occurred to me, you know, we've been 10 years searching in the caves of Afghanistan and borderline Pakistan, you know, and apparently Tora Bora, remember all that stuff. We didn't never found them, and then it occurred to me a couple weeks ago. I was like, well, wait a minute. What if you was living here? What if you was just living in the U.S. hiding in plain sight? Because you ever hear that expression, you know, it will be the last place you ever thought you looked for something. So, you know, there's no concern of looking for him anymore. But it gets occurred to me maybe the U.S. government, CIA, and FBI had entertained the thought that maybe he's in the U.S. hiding in plain sight. Because there is no other explanation on why we cannot find him, I think. Alrighty. Next thing I want to talk about is, oh yeah, in Newark, New Jersey, a couple weeks ago in April, a mother of 3 had an argument with her husband. And what happened after that, the mom and the husband got in a fight, so the mom had drove off with the 3 kids that she had with the husband. And no, 4 kids, I believe, 4 kids. The mom drove off with 4 kids, and the point I want to make is that she went to a lake and drove her van with her kids and herself into the van, intentionally trying to kill herself and the kids. She succeeded in killing 3 of her 4 kids and herself, but the 10-year-old boy, the oldest of the 4 kids, managed to escape by crawling out of the window, then swimming back to shore and flagging down help. My heart goes out to that little boy. But once again, there's that thing, she snapped, you know, she snapped. Alrighty. And then also too, on the 20th of April of this year, there was a limited edition of Nike. The company Nike, who makes the brand shoes, put out Cheech and Chong limited edition Nike shoe. Price unknown. And then for people who are in the Tea Party, who are members of the Tea Party, I'm not saying you guys are bad people, but my new name for the people who belong in the Tea Party are teabaggers. they're teabaggers. Alrighty. You know, and then I have a message for Jan Brewer. She just can't seem to get out of the news. It's annoying. I read the papers, I see the news. Jan Brewer, our governor, is everywhere. And it's bad because I don't like the bitch. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't like the bitch either. But anyway, I want to say, Jan Brewer, you're a horrible, terrible, little, evil woman. Yes, you are. Okay. Then, oh yeah, this week on the cover of Newsweek, you'll never guess who's on the cover of Newsweek. You know, I like to think that Newsweek's been around for a while, that their choice of articles and topics for the magazines are head-on stuff I care about. But this week I couldn't pass it up, but they featured the Olsen twins on the cover, and we all remember the Olsen twins, the so-called cute little babies on Full House, which by the way was a horrible, terrible show. Full House was horrible. But that was for us back in the 80s, because we only had 3 channels to work with. But anyway, those kids wanted to grow up to be into one of the most famous people in the world. And not only that, before the age of 21, those little babies were already considered billionaires. I just don't like the Olsen twins. I wish they just get out of something. Olsen twins, I'm happy that you guys have $1 billion each. How about shelling out some billions of dollars and helping some other people out? But anyways, and then also too, most interesting is this month. Oh, bye. I gotta go. Bye. I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. The next thing I want to talk about is we all know the presidential race has officially begun. Mitt Romney, we all remember him from 2008. He was on the Republican side. He was one of the candidates. He has announced that he'll be running for president again for next year. But here's the thing I think I find interesting is that this week Donald Trump has mentioned that he's going to try and find out if it's feasible for him and viable for him to run for president of the United States of America. And he has brought up a subject that I think is fucking stupid. There's so much other stuff that we should be worried about. If all the paperwork involving Barack Obama's birth certificate, if it's authentic or bogus. And it just occurred to me that, when I read about it this week, it's like there are so much other stuff we should be worrying about, but yet the Republicans or the birthers, the people who are the birthers, they assume that Barack was not born here in the U.S. He was born in Hawaii, and to me, he's U.S. because Hawaii is a state of the Union, us. That's why we're called United States of America, and that's good enough for my book. But anyway, Donald Trump and the major players on the Republican side, they're bringing up that issue. And some other Republicans are like, don't bring up that issue because you're only hurting the fact that we're all trying to put a Republican president back in the White House. And the thing that is irking a lot of Republicans is the fact that Donald Trump is really seriously thinking about running for president. And he said that he'd be a good business president, you know. I like the fact that he's running for president only because that only causes more infighting with the Republican Party, and when there's more infighting, their decisions are less sound. They make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not too fond of what their values or what they stand for. I mean, I stand for the U.S. exactly, but some of those people are really crooked, as we all know. Back in '94, Newt Gingrich, when he was Speaker of the House, he was a dumbass. My bad. Hold on, guys. I guess that's it. Sorry about that, but anyways, I'll have more for you tomorrow. I'll have more for you in a couple minutes, in the next minute. But anyways, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.